بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Today, inshallah, we are starting a new topic, and the name is المتعدى بالحرف. المتعدى بالحرف. So before we go over like what it really means, I think we need to learn about a couple of terms. Then inshallah it will become clear automatically, as we go through this topic, what does it really mean when I say al-muta'addi bil-harf. So the first thing we need to learn before we can reach al-muta'addi bil-harf is al-fi'lul muta'addi. What is fi'lul muta'addi? In English, we will call it transitive verb. Some people may already know what transitive means and how it is different from intransitive, which is the next thing we're going to learn. So in this lesson, how we will define a transitive verb. It is a fi'l that can take a maf'ul bihi. Maf'ul bihi, if you could remember, it answers the question. It is the answer of the question, who or what, in a sentence. And al-fi'l al-muta'addi, the transitive verb, can be changed into a passive voice. Two things about al-fi'l al-muta'addi. It can take a maf'ul bihi and it can be changed into passive voice. Once we go over examples, inshallah, it will be more clear. For example, you say, he ate. He ate. You can ask the question, he ate what? And then you can say, he ate ice cream. So ice cream is what? Maf'ul bihi. Okay. So it means this verb ate, or he ate, akala in Arabic, is al-fi'l al-muta'addi. And it can be changed into passive voice also. You can say, he was eaten. The passive voice of he ate will be, he was eaten. He helped. Nasara. He helped. You can ask the question, he helped who? He helped his neighbor. So his neighbor will be maf'ul bihi. So it means he helped can take nasara. It can take a maf'ul bihi. And if it can take a maf'ul bihi, it also means that it can be changed into passive voice. For example, we can say, he was helped. He broke. He broke what? He broke a chair. So a chair is maf'ul bihi, and we can also change it into passive voice. He was broken. He hit. No, he hit. He hit the wall. So the wall is maf'ul bihi, and it can be changed into passive voice. He was hit. Daraba. He was, and duriba, he was hit. He opened. You can say he opened a door. So a door is maf'ul bihi, and we can change it into passive voice. He was opened. So al-fi'l al-muta'addi, the transitive verb, is a verb which can take a maf'ul bihi, and it can also be changed into passive voice. Any question on transitive verb? It's pretty clear.
So you mean he helped? So help is not a mansuba.
Can you repeat your question?
So you said he helped. So in this only up to here, helped is not a mansub.
I didn't even mention the word mansub here. I'm not talking about mansub or anything like that. He helped is a
Okay.
verb. It's a transitive verb. It can take a maf'ul bihi and it can be changed into passive voice. That's all I'm talking about
Yeah,
here.
okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Intransitive verb or al-fi'lul lazim. Fi'lul lazim. So in contrast to the al-fi'lul muta'addi, this fail, this al-fi'lul lazim, it cannot take a maf'ul bihi. Okay? For example, I say he slept. He slept. Does it generate the question who or what? No. You cannot add a maf'ul bihi after it directly. Hmm? And you cannot change it into passive voice either. He was selected. This is nothing. This doesn't mean anything. Another word. He fasted. Soma. This doesn't take a maf'ul bihi either. He fasted. You cannot generate the question who or what. Or if you can add something or someone after it, then it is a transitive verb. You cannot do that either. So you cannot say he was fasted. That will not mean anything. So you cannot change it into passive voice. He was happy, the next word. Or he was worried. You cannot take these words do not take maf'ul bihi. These fail. Or he stood up. Qama. He stood up. It doesn't generate the question who or what. He stood up someone. He stood up something. No, he himself stood up. So it doesn't take a maf'ul bihi and it cannot be changed. He was stood up. I mean, that's strong English. It doesn't mean anything. He died. Who or what? It doesn't generate that question. Or he died someone or something. That will not make sense. It cannot be changed to passive voice either. So al-failul lazim is the one is the fail that cannot take a maf'ul bihi and therefore it cannot be made passive voice. It cannot be changed into passive voice. So al-failul lazim do not have an ismul maf'ul. When we do the TPI, if you remember, Qama, for example, we do Qama, he stood up. Qama yakumu kum la takum. Kumu la takumu qaim. And then we skip the maf'ul because this is al-fi'lul lazim and there is no ismul maf'ul. Similarly, we
Uh,
do this for Sama.
Brother
Sama yakum.
Shabazz, your screen disappeared. Brother Shabazz, are you
Everyone,
still sharing your screen? I don't see anything now.
Vijay, I can see.
Screen is visible, brother. It might be problem with your computer.
Yeah, I
All right. Okay.
we see that.
hopefully
Understand.
it will come back. Hopefully it will come back. I can stop share and maybe reshare. I don't know. Hopefully it will come back.
It will come back. Hope so.
Inshallah. Maybe you can do something on your end
No,
to
got it back.
have got it back. All right. So now it is clear what is al failul mutaddi and what is al failul lazim. All right. So it means it is clear what is Al-fi'lul lazim. Al-fi'lul lazim, again, I'm repeating this, can take a maf'ul bihi and it can be changed to passive voice, while that will not be possible for al-fi'lul lazim. Now, we know what is passive voice, how to make them, but just to refresh our memory, I will go over this quickly. For example, fataha. Fataha means he opened. And this is a transitive verb, al-fi'lul muta'addi, because we can say he opened a door. So it can take a maf'ul bihi, and therefore it can be changed to passive voice. So fataha, he opened. Futiha, he was opened. Fataha, futiha. Okay. Akala, he ate. Can we make a passive? Can we add a maf'ul bihi to it? We can add, like he ate his food. He ate ice cream. He ate a banana. So it means this is al-fi'l al-muta'addi because it can take a maf'ul bihi and therefore it can be changed to passive voice. What will be the passive voice? Ukila. Ukila, he was eaten. He was eaten. Jalasa. Jalasa means he sat, or you can say he sat down. Can we add a maf'ul bihi to it? He sat down. Does it generate the question who or what?
He sat down on a chair. Will that make it?
But you have to add the word on. You added a preposition before it,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Without adding a preposition, can you add a maf'ul bihi to it? No.
No.
No. So it means if we make the word julisa, I cannot make it back. I cannot even finish this sentence. He was sated. I don't know. This is not even a word, right? So julisa, the word julisa does not exist. I mean, I can write it down like here, but it doesn't mean anything. Julisa. Julisa by itself does not mean anything because jalasa actually is a al-fi'lul lazim. And we know al-fi'lul lazim does not take a maf'ul bihi and it cannot be changed to passive. So julisa by itself doesn't mean anything. Okay. So the conclusion we have reached so far is that al-fi'lul lazim over here cannot be changed to passive voice. That's the conclusion we have reached so far. But actually there is a method. There is a special method by which you can actually change the al-fi'lul lazim into passive voice. There is one. And that is what we are going to learn. That is the objective of today's lesson. The objective of today's lesson is how to change al-fi'lul lazim into passive. How we can make it passive. We can change a mutaddi fi'l into passive. So how about, I mean, the one way could be, or the way I'm going to teach here today is that we have to change the, no, actually before we go into this, there are more examples here, but yeah, I'm skipping a few things here. So maybe I should go over this one too. Fatah al-baba, what does it mean? He opened the door, right? Fatah al-baba, he opened the door. How we can make it passive? The English of this, English, the passive in English, what it will be?
The
door
door
was-
was opened.
Sorry?
The door was open.
The door was opened. And what will be the Arabic of this? The door was opened.
Futihal.
Futihal babu, not baba. Futihal babu. Because now the outside naibul file is babu, it has to be in rafa status. Okay. So now coming back to what I was saying before. How we can make al-failul lazim passive? How we can make it passive? We can make it passive by first changing it into muta'addi. And once it is changed into muta'addi, then it can be changed into passive voice easily. Okay. So a verb which is lazim can be made muta'addin by using a preposition, and then it can be made passive. Okay. So how we can change a lazim verb to muta'addin? By adding a preposition to it. For example, he sat. I'm using the same example again. He sat. Is there a passive voice for it? No.
No.
No, there is no passive voice for it. But how about I say, he sat on the chair, as Brother Hamid was saying. He sat on the chair. To add the word the chair, I have to first use the word on. Without using on, I cannot add chair to it. Okay. Using the word enables me to add the word the chair. So he added a preposition or a harf. In Arabic, we can say added a harf. So in Arabic, we will say jalasa, he sat down, or he sat ala, upon or on, al-kursi, he sat on the chair. He jalasa ala al-kursi. Makes sense? Easy Arabic. He sat on the kursi, on the chair. Jalasa ala kursi. Can we make a passive voice of this now? He sat on the chair. Can we? Can we make a passive voice of this new sentence that we made by using a harf? Ala. Just give me English of it. He sat on the chair. What is the passive voice in English language? Sorry?
The chair was sat on by him.
No. The chair was sat on. Him will not be there. The chair was sat on. Chair was sat on. Like, he opened the door. Door was opened. He is gone now. Because the outside naibul file has taken the place of the inside naibul file. Similarly, we don't see he here anymore. The door was opened. Similarly, the chair was sat on. This is the passive voice. So what really happened here? Did you see that we are able to now change a lazim fail into passive voice? Did we not? We have been successful in changing a lazim fail into passive voice. And how we did that? By using a harf, on. Ala. Ala is a harf, a particle, on, or a preposition, you may say. So the use of a preposition allowed us. So by use of a rephrase it. I used a preposition to change al-failul lazim into failul muta'addi and then I was able to change that into a passive voice. Okay, so what will be the Arabic? Julisa alal kursi. Julisa alal kursi. The kursi was sat on. This is as it's already said in English. So this is the Arabic now. Julisa alal kursi. The kursi was sat on. What is the naibul file here? Naibul file. Sorry.
Kursi? Alal kursi.
Alal kursi. We have to keep ala with it. Because it is the ala which allowed us to add a naibul file to it. So we have to keep the ala with it. Alal kursi is actually jar majroor, but it is acting like a naibul file here. The chair was sat on. So alal kursi acts as the naibul file. Okay. Now we take another example. He came. He came. Ata. In Arabic we say ata. He came. Can we make it passive voice? Is this al-fi'lul lazim or al-fi'lul muta'addin?
Hello, Ladim.
It is a fi'l lazim. It is a lazim fi'l. It is intransitive. But I'm gonna do the same thing, exactly the same thing. I'm going to add a harf B. B means with. When I add the word with, then I can add whatever I want actually next to it. He came with the food. He came with the ice cream. He came with a table. I can add so many things now. So it is the word with which enabled me to use other words with it. Okay. And I can say the same thing a little bit differently. He came with the food. I can say he brought the food. It's the same thing. Ata bit ta'ami. He came with the food, meaning he brought the food. He brought the food. So now, initially, he came, we were not able to make it passive voice. Now, I have used the same verb, but I have used it with a harf now. B. What will be the passive voice? Can we make it passive voice now? First try in English. He brought the food. What will be the passive voice?
The food was brought.
The food was brought. The food was brought. See, now just by adding a harf to a fi'l lazim, we are able to make passive voice. Just by adding a harf. And what will be the Arabic for it? Utiya. Actually, this is a dhamma here. It didn't come out. It wasn't written really well. Something the way it is typed. Utiya bit ta'ami. The food was brought. The food was brought. Ata became utiya. Utiya bit ta'ami. There is no change in bit ta'ami. It is the same. The food was brought. So what will be the naibul file now?
Bit-ta'am.
Bit-ta'ami is the naibul file. Bit-ta'ami is the naibul file. Exactly. So what we have been able to do here, that we added a harf to a fi'l lazim, an intransitive verb, and then we were able to make it passive voice. So this is a special method by which you can do this, and it is used in Quran, and that is why we need to learn about it. And it will, inshallah, improve our understanding of the Quran and help us understand Quran better. This is not, we are not done yet, but it's 10:25, and I just wanted to stop here, and I wanted to give you the opportunity, if you have, if you want to ask any questions on today's topic. Anything I went over quickly, I went really slow. But if there is something that you want me to repeat or you have a question, you can ask that now.
Brother Shafat, Assalamu alaikum. I have a question.
Mhm.
When we have English passive voice, we usually have like he brought the food. We say the food was brought by him, strictly speaking. But that by him part is not covered in Arabic, or is this a special reason?
In passive voice, the doer is not known. I know in English maybe what you're saying makes sense. And this is what Brother Hamid was saying too, right?
Right.
But as in front of you, that is why I had this example here. In passive voice, basically, the doer is not known. That is why it is called passive voice. Al-fi'lul majhul. We have a jahl about the doer. It is unknown. So Fatah al-Baba, he opened the door. Now if we make it Futiha, he was opened. Al-Babu, the door was opened. Al-Babu will take the place of the inside acting
Right.
verb, inside
Right.
naibul file. He will have to add more words after it to say by him.
Hmm.
I have to add more words. So I know in English maybe it makes sense what you're saying, but in Arabic, you see, I will have to add more words, which
Right.
I don't want to do right now.
I think the way you have defined the passive voice is answering that question. The way I was thinking was that passive voice means that the object comes before the subject, but the way you are defining is that the subject is actually unknown, so or the doer is not known. So I think that answers the question. So that Futih al Babu, it's not known, so it's not known. Jazakallah.
Sorry, is there a question?
No, I have no question. I'm just was explaining the way I was thinking before. But your voice, I could not hear what you said. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just saying if there are no other questions, we can move to the other part.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
I came a bit late, but what is fa'al bihi?
What is what? Maf'ul bihi. Did you mean
Oh,
maf'ul bihi?
yeah, maf'ul bihi. Maf'ul bihi.
Yeah, it has been taught before under mafa'id. This is one of the basic concepts that is taught, has been taught before. For example, I say he ate ice cream. Okay?
Okay.
Ice cream is maf'ul bihi. Or for example, I say he helped his neighbor. His neighbor is what? Maf'ul bihi. It answers the question who or what. For example, I say he helped. The question can be he helped who? So answer is his neighbor. So his neighbor is maf'ul bihi. He helped his neighbor. His neighbor is maf'ul bihi. So this is what maf'ul bihi means. Okay, it answers the question who or what in a sentence.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, I think we are done for this part. Inshallah, we will continue with this topic tomorrow, inshallah, and we will do a few more things about it. Not much is remaining now, but inshallah, once we understood this, inshallah, everything else will go really, really quickly and easily. So inshallah, we will continue with this tomorrow. So we can go to the breakout rooms now. Oh, sorry, not the breakout rooms. Sorry, we are not going to go there. we will